what 35 years ago when we started this, nobody was talking about, and now a lot of people are talking about, is the fact that our beliefs about ourself and life, most of which are unconscious, totally determine our behavior, our emotions, and our reality. And the way in which I want to transform the quality of life on the planet is by helping people live as the unlimited possibilities that they are. So we're not victims of our circumstances. So we can express our authentic self powerfully without worrying about how am I going to look, or what's this one going to think, or what's that one going to think.
Welcome to Linda's Corner, where we bring more hope, healing, and happiness to the world. My name is Linda Bjork, and today we're going to be talking about eliminating limiting beliefs. I'm delighted to welcome Shelly Lefkoe. Shelly is a transformational expert, international keynote speaker, workshop leader, and the co-founder of the Lefkoe Institute. Her work has been featured on the Today Show, Leeza, and many other media outlets. You can reach Shelly at the Lefkoe Institute website, and I'll include that link in the show notes. Welcome, Shelly. I'm so glad that you could join with me today.
Thanks, Linda. Thanks for having me.
I am so delighted, and I really enjoyed checking out your website, and it had there a pretty big goal. It said, the mission of the Lefkoe Institute is to significantly improve the quality of life on the planet. And I thought, ooh, yes, we could improve the quality of life on this planet.
You think?
So what is your plan to improve the quality of life on this planet?
Yeah, that's a great, nobody has ever opened that way. So I love that. Thank you. So this is such a perfect time in history to actually have this conversation, because there is so much divisiveness in the world and so much pain and suffering and so much blame and guilt and shame and, both, politically, globally, personally, in business, financially. So on my tombstone, it is going to say, I have tried everything, and this is the only thing that ever worked to move the needle. Meaning, there's a lot of great teachers in the world who give great information, and people come out of their classes and their workshops. And I know that you have my audience, a very personal, growth-oriented audience. And, you've done so many workshops on how to not procrastinate and how to get into great relationships and not have approach anxiety and how to get rid of depression and stress. And they'll tell you. But what 35 years ago when we started this, nobody was talking about, and now a lot of people are talking about, is the fact that our beliefs about ourself and life, most of which are unconscious, totally determine our behavior, our emotions, and our reality. And the way in which I want to transform the quality of life on the planet is by helping people live as the unlimited possibilities that they are. So we're not victims of our circumstances. So we can express our authentic self powerfully without worrying about how am I going to look, or what's this one going to think, or what's that one going to think. So that's my goal, is to work with individuals, organizations, groups. I look at what's going on in the Middle East. It's just beliefs. It's just beliefs. Jews hate Arabs. Arabs hate Jews, and Arabs are bad, and Israelis this, and Palestine's this, and Ukraine's that. And it's just beliefs. Racism, it's just beliefs. I'll tell you one last thing. We worked with, when we were on the Today Show, no, the Leeza show, sorry. Um, my late husband worked with someone who was a skinhead, and he got rid of on national television the belief that Black people were dangerous. So when he was a kid, his mother was mugged by a Black person, and his father would always say, "Oh, Blacks are bad and Blacks are dangerous." And so he got rid of the belief. And we did a little work with him, and he went around to all the skinhead clubs and tried to actually talk to them about not being racist. And it was very, very cool.
That is so awesome and amazing and true. And I am with you 100%. And isn't it crazy that when you go to what works, it is both so simple and so hard because it's something that it becomes ingrained. Mom said that Blacks are bad, or someone said that maybe rich people are bad, or the Jews are bad, or the Arabs are bad. Somebody is dangerous. And I love that you use the word dangerous because a lot of times these self-limiting beliefs are designed to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes on that subconscious level, which is where our fight or flight, this system is trying to protect us and keep us safe. So let's take care of, pay attention to all the things that are dangerous, all the people, all the
Yeah.
circumstances, put them right down into the very core of our being to keep us safe. But instead of keeping us safe, some of the problems that you listed were war and racism and cruelty. And it's not producing the effects that our sweet little unconscious mind thinks it's going to be doing.
Yeah. And I love one thing you said, and I want to tweak something you said. So many people, Linda, say it's ingrained. Beliefs get ingrained and they point to their chest. One of the things that is one of the first distinctions that we make in our process is the belief is in your head. It's not in your heart. It's not in your chest. It's not in your body. If I open you up, the belief is not there. The belief is an answer to the question, why? Why did this happen? And we make stuff up, and that becomes our beliefs. And I'll let you ask some questions, but I want to make some distinctions because people get very confused about the difference between a pattern and a belief. So I hear people say things like, I have a belief that I'm a procrastinator. That's not your belief. That's your pattern. So a pattern, and everyone look at your own lives as I'm talking, because if you just listen to me, it will be really interesting, I promise. But it'll be more impactful if you look at your own life as we're doing this. So a pattern is observable. I can see, so there are behavior patterns and emotional patterns. So I can see you procrastinate. I could see you get into relationships that aren't nurturing and loving. I can see you being alone all the time. I can see you not standing up for yourself. So those are behavioral patterns. Emotional patterns. I can see you be depressed or anxious. I can, see, oh God, that, when somebody's speaking in public, you can see that they're anxious if they are. So there are behavioral and emotional patterns. And then there are patterns that are reality patterns. I do all the right things and nothing ever happens. I just never have what I want. Everything that's supposed to happen doesn't. So that's just a pattern that just, and so beliefs, I'll go back to what I was going to say in a second. Beliefs are a statement about reality that we hold as the truth. It's not airy-fairy. It's not wishy-washy. It's not sometimes. It is, I believe that men are dangerous, or I believe I'm not good enough, or I believe life is hard, or I believe You have to work hard to make money. Now, most of our beliefs are unconscious, but the powerful thing about my work in context of getting rid of a belief is you can observe, you can see patterns. You cannot see beliefs.
Wow, that was deep.
Yeah.
That was excellent. That's a beautiful distinction. And when you see the patterns, you're seeing, like when you talked about emotional patterns, it's body language. It's not necessarily a behavior that I did something. My body's doing something that I might not even be aware of. So that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So to be able to get to the root of the beliefs and then the patterns just change.
Exactly. And I love that you said that, because with my work, like a lot of things, you do it and life changes just in the process of life itself, or maybe it will, maybe it won't, or you tap and you feel better and then later you have to tap again. And when you get rid of a belief, it's like pulling a flower out of the ground by the roots, and it doesn't grow back, right? If you pull it out by the roots, it can't grow back. And so beliefs, when they are eliminated, underlying every pattern that you have, every problem or issue, workaholism, perfectionism, alcoholism, all the isms, underneath every pattern that you have are beliefs causing it. And I can give you some examples later of specific patterns and specific beliefs that cause those patterns, because I've been doing this for 35 years. So I have clients in every country around the world. I have clients in Uganda and Saudi Arabia. It truly blows my mind, but I do. And everybody has the same beliefs underlying certain patterns.
Oh, that's amazing. So that's when you can take the symptom and be able to distill it down to the root, because you recognize what it is and where it came from. So I am excited to hear some of these. What kinds of patterns and what are the underlying beliefs that cause those patterns?
Okay. So I wrote a book called Hitting the Wall, Eliminating the Beliefs That Sabotage Your Business and Your Life. And I talk about there are certain common beliefs that underlie every pattern. So let's talk about the most common problem that people have is fear of public speaking.
Okay.
Underlying fear of public speaking are 11 beliefs and what we call conditioning. I'll explain that later. It's very simple. I'm not good enough. So I want everybody listening, I just want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to say, I'm not good enough, out loud.
I'm not good enough.
Now say, I'm a monkey.
I'm a monkey.
So when you said, I'm a monkey, it either felt silly or flat. How did it feel when you said, I'm not good enough?
For me, it felt, I can't say it was funny like a monkey, but it brought me back to a place where I absolutely did believe that. And I had a smile in my heart right now.
Uh-huh.
It's like, hey, I feel like I've worked through that one quite a bit.
Oh, good. So, two things. Number one, a lot of people say to me, I'm working on it, or I'm working through it, or I've worked on it a bit. So, in my world, if it did, so first of all, if the belief didn't feel good to say, it's because you have it. And in my experience of 35 years, unless you've gotten rid of it, most people have that belief. Okay. And I'll tell you why later. So, the first way you know you have a belief is it doesn't feel good when you say it. Because if you didn't believe it, it would feel like just words, right? It would have no energy on it. So that's the first thing we do. There are other ways to know you have a belief. So the reason I wanted you to do that is because underlying procrastination, fear of public speaking, workaholism, people pleasing, pretty much every pattern there is I'm not good enough. So that's the first number one belief we almost always work on. And when you get rid of it, it's gone. It's not, I'm working through it. I pretty much did it. Feels like, yeah, I'm almost there. It's gone. And what happens is people say it, and it hurts to say, there's a belief, I'm not worth loving. That's a very specific belief underneath relationship patterns. When I ask people to say it out loud, they look at me like I'd rather rip my nails off than say those words, or they start crying. After the belief goes away, I have them say it again, and it's like just words. It's silly most of the time. So underlying fear of public speaking and pretty much procrastination is I'm not good enough. I'm not important. What I have to say is not important. People aren't interested in what I have to say. I'm not capable. What makes me, now this is called a survival strategy belief. What makes me good enough is having other people think well of me. Now, I want to tell you, my life was run by what other people thought. I would call my girlfriend and say, what are you wearing to the party? And I remember my girlfriend, Linda, my best friend, I called her and I said, Linda, what are you wearing to the party? And she said, I don't know, whatever I feel like wearing when I get dressed. And I thought, wow, she's not worried about being too dressed or not dressed enough or wearing something that's too bright or not bright, because I had the belief what makes me good enough is having other people think well of me. I used to walk away from every conversation, Linda, going, did I ask about her mother? Did I insult her when I said that? It was like this blah, 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 blah in my head. And when I went to sleep at night, I would lay there going, when that belief went away in 1 minute, because you do the whole process is maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then there's one moment where the belief goes away. I called it my Martin, it always makes me cry. I called it my Martin Luther King Jr. moment, because I was free at last. I was free to be my authentic self. And let me tell you what a game changer that is. When my attention is not on me, because I'm good, right? I'm okay. If you like me, if you don't like me, I'm open to feedback. I always want to grow. I always want to be the best I can be, but I'm okay. So where's my focus? On you. So when I speak in public, my focus is on the audience 100%. And if I drop my scarf, which I did in front of 700 people, if I forget what I was going to say, it doesn't matter. I'm human. And, and people say, so you don't care what people think? It's not that I don't care. I may not. If my daughter called me up and said, Mom, I don't like you anymore, I would be very sad and upset. But it never defines me anymore. When I got rid of the belief mistakes and failures are bad, and if I make a mistake or fail, I'll be rejected, all of a sudden, I can I can make videos. Like the other day, I had this thought, And I kept hearing the same thing in sessions. And and it was change is hard. And I said, no, the only reason change has been so hard in your life is because you never eliminated the beliefs that were causing the problem. That's why change has been hard. So I had no makeup on. I just came from pickleball. It was like, I didn't look, and I made a video. I just made a video and I put it on Instagram. And in the past, I would never have done that. I'll tell you one more. This is a great story. I work out and I have very cut arms, except I've lost and gained weight. So I have that, what do they call it?
Bat wings, that floppy.
Bat wings. Thank you.
Yes.
Bat wings. But I like to wear sleeveless dresses when I speak. I just like to. And I do have great arms, except for those bat wings, right? So I very, very, very rarely read the comments that people make because I don't have time. And I got a Google alert and it said somebody just posted a video in Reddit. So I looked at the video and I thought, where was that from? I don't even remember that. So I click on the YouTube video and there's all these comments. Oh, I love her. She's wonderful. Great information. And then all of a sudden, this person with initials wrote, well, I'm glad she's confident enough to wear a sleeveless dress. There was a time, Linda, that would have, and everybody listening, there was a time, you guys, that would have put me away for days. It was not a blip on the radar. It was just like, wow. Now I know what famous people go through because they get that all the time.
Yes, they do.
It's just so sad that somebody, has that little time in their life or that much time in their life to do that. And that was it. I did not think about it again, but it just came up for me when I was talking about like, wow, that would have put me away in the past. It's a bare memory because it was a long time ago, but yeah. So that's what eliminating beliefs does.
That is magical. And I just imagine that people listening are just thinking, wow, really? You can do that and you can be that and you can feel good about yourself, even if you're not perfect, even if someone else says something unkind. And it's so empowering because I can't control what you say or what you think or what anyone else says or what anyone else thinks. And if my self-worth is based on how they think, how they feel about me, I am completely powerless. And I'm almost a slave where it's like you said, what am I going to wear to the party? And what the real question is what will I wear so that people will like me and think that I look good and that I fit in and that I've done it right when I show up? When they
Exactly.
judge me, what do I need to do and be and wear and look like so that they will like me? And man, it just makes you kind of a puppet on a string, don't you think?
Totally.
Where
It's brilliantly put.
and the what is in style changes and what's the in thing changes. And so it's not like, okay, I finally got it right. Yes.
Yeah.
It's, well, that was so yesterday.
Yeah.
Now what the cool
Yeah.
people do is XYZ.
Yeah.
But when you eliminate those self-limiting beliefs, when you're able to say, I am okay. Not I am okay because, I am okay if, but I am okay, then the power to be happy and to be at peace is within me.
That is so good. Not I'm okay when, not I'm okay if, not I'm okay because. That was brilliant. That was so good. I want to give your audience a gift. For those of you who are parents, here's what I tell my kids. No matter what you do, somebody's not going to like it. So you may as well do what you want. But before you do anything, stop and ask yourself, what might the consequences of my actions be? And do I want to live with those consequences? It's a way better question than what is somebody going to think? Because if your kid goes to high school and somebody says, let's do sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you don't want them asking themselves, what are they going to think if I don't do it? You want them asking, what are the consequences going to be if I do?
Man, if people thought about the consequences, wouldn't that just change the world right there?
Yep. I want to just talk for a second about how our beliefs get formed
Yes,
and
please.
why they stay with us, because people don't understand. I worked with 5 Harvard PhDs who all had the belief I'm stupid at different times over the years. 5. So they have evidence that they're not stupid. They went to Harvard, but they still believe it. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to also just really quickly say the way my husband, my late husband, created this process was because he was looking at, why do people know what to do and don't do it? And why do we know what not to do and do it anyway? We all know if we eat healthily and we exercise, we will live longer and feel better. But a lot of us don't. We know going into a relationship that this is not the right relationship. We see red flags and we go in and we stay in. So we know yelling at our kids is not a good thing, but we get mad and we yell. Why is that? And he was looking at his own life and how he was struggling and efforting. And he was on a plane and he started journaling. And he realized that it's our beliefs that determine our behavior and why we do things. So that's how it started. And then we looked at, well, where do these beliefs come from? Well, when you're little, every child alive wants 3 things: affection, attention, and acknowledgement. And when you don't get it, what do you ask? What does every little kid ask all day long? One word question. Why? Exactly. Why? Why is the sky blue? Why can't I go to my friend's house? Why can't I have a play date? Why is mommy criticizing me all the time? I guess I'm not good enough. Why am I not getting attention? Why are they always busy? Why are they looking at their iPhone while they're talking to me? While I'm talking to them, sorry. Well, I guess I'm not important. Why are they struggling about money and they can't pay the bills? Well, I guess money is scarce and hard to get. And here's the thing, everyone. It is as if you could see as a kid, I'm not good enough. Life is hard. You have to work hard to make money. I'm not important. I don't matter. It's as if when I say to people, doesn't it seem like you saw that belief? They said, I did see it every day. And you can't not believe something you think you saw. You cannot see a belief. Anything you could see has a color, shape, and location. You cannot see I'm not good enough. You can see a parent calling you stupid or criticizing you or rolling their eyes or tisking. Ugh. That's what we see. We see our parents struggling, but you can't see money is scarce and hard to get. But because when we're little, our little tiny world is the world, we form beliefs. And then it's really hard to get rid of them because we never handle that step. And when these beliefs go away, the freedom to be is exquisite.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah, beautiful. That's the goal here, is personal freedom.
Yeah.
And with that freedom is peace.
I work with, my favorite population of people to work with is incest survivors or sexual abuse victims, because the beliefs I'm powerless, I'm worthless, I'm damaged goods, no one will want me, it was my fault. Once you get rid of those beliefs, we have another piece that we do, which talks about meaning, the meaning we give events. And all of our emotions come from the meaning we give events, not the events. Right? So if a man's walking down the street and you don't give it meaning, are you going to feel anything?
No.
But if you give it the meaning he's dangerous, what are you going to feel?
No, I feel afraid. I'm fearful.
Now, if you give it the meaning he'll protect me, now what are you going to feel?
Oh, now I'm attracted to them. I want to be around them because I know that they're a safe place.
Right? You feel safe. So it isn't the events that make you feel things, it's the meaning you give events. And all meaning is in your mind. So when I work with people who've been in serious traumatic situations, what they get is that the events don't have meaning inherent in the events. They had consequences, they were horrible, it's not fun, I wish it didn't happen, but the meanings are in your mind. And when you get rid of those and the events don't have meaning, you stop defining yourself by something that happened to you 20, 30, 40 years ago. It's the most exquisite work I do.
That is exquisite work.
Thanks.
Oh, I love it. I love what you do. And I agree 100%. This will make the world a better place. This is making the world a better place. And thank you for sharing it with us today.
Yeah. So I want to do something really special for your audience.
Yes, please.
Especially all of you who stayed till the very end. So what I'm about to share is not available online, okay? It's something I usually reserve for my private clients, but because you're here and you gave me your time, which I do not take lightly, so a lot of people you could have been listening to today and things you could have been doing. So I'm going to give this to you absolutely free, and it's called the Breakthrough Belief Blueprint. So this is for anyone who feels like no matter how much personal growth work they do, and I'm talking to the personal growth audience, so I know who I'm talking to here. And no matter how much you do, you keep running into the same roadblocks. So whether it's self-doubt, fear of failure, procrastination, or the feeling that you're just not enough. Maybe you've tried affirmations, therapy, coaching, or endless self-help books. And you know what I'm talking about. But something still holds you back from feeling free and at peace. So what you really want is to finally break free from these patterns that are keeping you stuck so that you can live with joy and ease. So the Breakthrough Belief Blueprint is made up of two powerful tools. First one, the Limiting Belief Identifier Quiz. So this is going to help you uncover the subconscious beliefs that have been shaping your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, so you can finally release them and move forward powerfully. Number two, okay, you ready? You're going to get a personal mindset breakthrough call with me, private session. We'll work together to create a simple step-by-step roadmap to remove the beliefs that have been keeping you stuck so you can start living the life you know you were meant to live the life you deserve. So if you want to take advantage of this, just go to my Instagram at Shelly Lefkoe, ShellyLef as in Frank, KOE, and DM me the word Breakthrough 25 right now. I have 15 spots available for the Mindset Breakthrough Call, so contact me soon. Again, if you want the Breakthrough Belief Blueprint, send me the word Breakthrough 25 on my Instagram at Shelly Lefkoe, and I will personally send it over to you.
Wow, that is amazing. That is a very generous offer. How thrilling. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for sharing your time and your wisdom today. This is
you're
wonderful.
welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for having me, and thanks for doing what you do, Linda. Really, it's a real contribution to people.
Thank you. And definitely the same to you. Let's make the world a better place together, shall we?
Let's do it.
In closing, I'd like to share a quote by Wayne Dyer. He said, "There is one grand lie, that we are limited. The only limits we have are the limits we believe." Today, I invite our listeners to eliminate our limiting beliefs. See you next time on Linda's Corner. Thanks for tuning in to Linda's Corner podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends to help us inspire even more listeners. Be sure to visit hopeforhealingfoundation.org for free and affordable resources to help you overcome life's challenges. And explore healingbreathworkdetox.com, where you'll find transformative tools for deep inner healing and lasting change. Also, don't forget to check out my books, Crushed, A Journey Through Depression, and You Got This, an action plan to calm fear, anxiety, worry, and stress. Your journey to hope, healing, and happiness starts here.